Who doesn't like a good battle theme? We're into the end game now of Flash Gordon. Next on PLD Project's Crown Jewels. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to PLD Products Presents Crown Jewels. I'm your host, PLD, and we are on Battle Theme this week as we continue our journey through the Flash Gordon soundtrack, through the entirety of the Queen and solo catalog, figuring out which version is the titular Crown Jewel, the best version to put into our ultimate playlist. I'll give you some notes, some quotes, all that jazz. Jazz is a different album. We're talking about Flash Gordon here. But Battle Theme is this week's show, and like I mentioned it last week and the week before, we're into the end game now. We're into the final act of Flash Gordon. Time for Brian May to shine, as well as the rest of the band at this point. Full band effort again for this one. We do feature Brian on guitars, synthesizers, some vocals, Roger Taylor on drums and vocals, Freddie on vocals, John Deacon on the bass guitar. Not a lot of actual vocals, a lot of background stuff, a lot of flash ahs moments, because quite frankly, Brian May, when he writes a soundtrack, he tends to get a little repetitive. It's the same basic theme, and he just does it in different ways. This time, it's pretty much a cacophony of sound. It's a big blasting sound to cover the action that's going on as Flash and the Hawkmen attack Ming and Mongo City to save Dale. So we'll get right into it here. It's actually, I think it works better than Voltan's theme, which is the one we just previously did, the one that was written by Freddie, the action piece, which is more keyboard heavy. This is a crashing guitar. Brian really fills the entire soundscape with his guitars. But don't take my word for it. Let's listen to it. Let's listen to it, and we can talk about it. How are we going to listen to it? Well, I don't like YouTube strikes. So what I'm going to do is put in the show notes a link to a Google Doc. On that Google Doc, you'll find links to other YouTube videos that play the track, the version of the track that we're going to listen to. So when I tell you to, you're going to pause me, hit that link, listen to the track, come back, and then we will talk about it. We have two versions to listen to this week. We do have the studio version that was on the soundtrack, and we do have a live version from Tokyo in 1981. We'll go one at a time. First up, the main album version. So go find that link, click on it, listen to it. Come back for more. There you go. Turn it up. Big air raid siren sounding thing as Ryder starts drumming us into the track, just pounding those drums into place, and then Brian's crashing guitar power chords come in, and that's the song. That's really 2 minutes of that, pretty much. But it's such a good 2 minutes. There's definitely some few other synth sounds throughout that. The synth kind of acts as the lead vocal line for the most part, doing the melody parts that are in the background, kind of leading us through the entirety of the crashing chords. But this is really for the Brian May lovers out there, especially the Brian May power chord lovers out there. Rocking out full on through. There's a few lines of dialogue in there, including the very apt, you might catch this, Brian Blessed saying, "Who wants to live forever?" That's a line from the film as he decides who wants to live forever before they dive onto this suicidal bombing that they're doing. They should be losing, but they're not because of the heroes, of course. Is this where Brian got the title for his later Highlander song? I don't know. I never heard him mention it, but it does seem kind of interesting, and maybe it's related. Who Wants to Live Forever? Definitely a different type of song, which we'll get to when we get to the Kind of Magic album. But I did find it an interesting, quote, as it were. I do love how they work this. It has the riff that slows down a little bit, kind of gets a little bit legato as it gets into the part where the vocals would be during the Flash theme. Bum, 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 ba-dum. It's like they ease back they sit in the back of the beat a little bit. It makes it kind of a little more powerful at this point. Gives you something a little different to listen to. Get that nice little panning, not wandering guitar necessarily, but he layers on some, instead of just power chords, some like strums or some like single notes or some couple notes in there that he kind of gives a wandering back and forth at the end to lead up to the final explosion sound. That's it from the film itself. So I don't know. I love this. It gets me going for 2 minutes. It's a nice little driving song. Goes into your workout. It's fine. Not much to it, but it's fun. It's fun for sure. All right, let's listen to the only live version, not the only live version there is, but one of the few live versions there is. Like I mentioned last week when we did Voltan's theme, Queen basically only usually did Flash's theme and the Hero live. They did for a little bit have a kind of Flash Gordon medley where they added Voltan's theme and the Battle theme to the mix very early on in their tours during this era. But that kind of got dropped pretty quickly. So Getting to hear a little bit, though, is kind of cool. So let's take a listen to this quickly. It's a very quick snippet from Tokyo 1981. Pause me, find the link, look at them, and come back for more. And welcome back. Not much you can do with 43 seconds, really, but hey, gives them a chance to do the drumming, gives them a chance to do a quick, 2 rounds of the guitar work, and to the end, slowly and surely kind of petering out the nice little kind of drony sound before it goes into the next song, which in this case is Flash Gordon theme, Flash the theme. Basically, they did the medley they had Keep Yourself Alive from Queen 1. They went into a drum and guitar solo. They would go out of the guitar solo into Voltan's theme, which slid into Battle theme, and then they went into their Flash the Hero medley, which is that's the medley part that actually survives throughout the entirety of the tour and brought back later on. Actually, Queen and Adam Lambert have done Flash and the Hero as well. They actually opened the concert sometimes with Flash and the Hero, but we did get the 43-second snippet. I'm glad we get it. It's kind of cool to hear. I mean, not much to talk about. Obviously, if we're going to pick a crown jewel, I'll spoil myself now. I tend to do that. If you listen to me now, I'm noticing, I kind of go, oh, I'm going to spoil it anyway. I should be waiting to the end and going, here, this is the case. I'm going to spoil it. It's pretty easy to tell. I'm not going to pick this as my crown jewel. It's 43 seconds. If I want to listen to the best version of Battle Theme, it's going to be the album version. That's a 2-minute full-on song. But it is cool. It's interesting to hear. Maybe I'm different. Maybe you don't like the songs. Maybe the 43-second version is going to be better, right? All right, let's move on then to the rest of the show, which is the crown jewel. I just kind of gave it away. This is an easy one. It is the album version, which is the crown jewel over the Live in Tokyo 1981 version. Doesn't help that it's not an officially released song. It's not an officially released version, so we have to deal with the. I don't want to say they're bad audience recordings are not necessarily bad, but compared to the soundboard official recordings, they're never going to be quite as good. We've had some great work from some fans out there who have really worked on some of these bootlegs over the years, really made them very listenable. This is one that's actually very listenable. However, at the end of the day, I'd rather listen to the official studio version if I'm going to pick one version to listen to, especially for this, given it's only 43 seconds on the live version. So, all right, it's time to rate the track on a scale of 1 to 11, because we always turn things up to 11 here on PLD Projects. As I've said it throughout most of the Flash Gordon soundtrack, I have a hard time rating these above a 6.5 or 5.5 rather, because quite frankly, they're very short incidental music. They're not real full-on songs. So how do you rate them as great songs? But how can you also rate them poorly either, because they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're doing their job, right? Well, this one turns me into a little bit of a hypocrite, I'm not going to lie, because even though this is more incidental music, I will turn this on without the film being played in the background. I could turn this on in my car and be like, yeah, let's rock out for 2 minutes or so. So I'm going to give this one an 8.5. I love it. It's good crashing power chords. I'm not saying it's anything complicated. I'm not saying it's anything you should be writing home about, but it's just fun. It's rather powerful drumming. It's Brian having fun on the guitar. It just works, and it's a play on the Flash theme, which I already like. So for me, 8.5 sounds about right. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us this week. Thanks for sticking around. This whole run of shows has been a little shorter for the most part, because I don't have many versions to listen to, and they're shorter songs, so it's not like I'm listening to long tracks to dissect. We will get back to some longer songs and longer episodes. We get into things like the Hot Space album and the Kind of Magic, and when they have a lot of versions to take down, a lot of versions to go through, I'll have a lot of harder decisions to make. But hoping you're enjoying these 5 to 10 minute spurts for now. We will get back to the half hour. I think I have a 90-minute one back in the day for We'll Rock You. I think that might be my record if I think about it. I don't know. But I hope you join me and stick around for that throughout the entirety of this. Next up after Flash Gordon soundtrack, we're going to be doing the first full-on solo effort from the band Roger Taylor's Fun in Space. I can't wait to do that as well. If you do like this, hit that subscribe, hit that like, comment on it. Let me know what you think about this track. Let me know which is your crown jewel. It's always a great discussion to have. I do have a YouTube membership now. If you join the membership, you'll get these videos early, much earlier. I usually record them at least a week in advance, sometimes even more. Sometimes I drop 2 a day, because I record 2 in a day, even though I spread them out on the main channel. You can join that, or you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/PLD Projects, where it's a kind of a joint effort between this page and my other YouTube page, regular PLD Projects, which is I do more movie reviews, TV shows, and things like that. I do Star Wars franchise, horror, V, the 1980s sci-fi show. Bunch of things like that. There's a lot of fun on that as well. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. I'll see you next time here on Crown Jewels, where we continue Flash Gordon. It's the Wedding March next week. Talk about a short song. It's about 1:07, I believe, if I remember correctly. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.